All right, Rick. I'm Steve Cannon. I have the privilege of running Arthur Blank's for-profit businesses. Since we're in storytelling mode, tell us a couple of stories along the way that you feel comfortable sharing that might enlighten the audience about.
Sure. So one, I appreciate you guys bringing me here for this. I'm not the best person for sharing stories, kind of like my grandfather's. Not much to shine the light on myself, even though I'm here today. But for me, it's been an amazing career. And so I'd started at Fort Hood, Texas, my first duty station in January 1st of '97. So New Year's Day, I got to Fort Hood. And I've been everywhere from the White House Communications Agency, Fort Gordon, Georgia, right here in Georgia. And then the culmination of my career was at the Joint Communications Unit and also the Joint Special Operations Command.
Talk about a little bit your transition. You went to obviously Envistacom, a very kind of, they understand the values and the virtues that military folks bring to the table, but not every company does. Describe a little bit your transition and how's it going for you now?
We have a ton of veterans at Envistacom, and so the shenanigans are still there, the camaraderie is still there, all the things that veterans don't necessarily know they're going to miss when they get out.
Sure.
But once you get out, it's painfully obvious that you need some kind of support structure. And thankfully for me, Alan and Alyssa Carson, they've put together an organization that really embraces the veteran culture, and they are definitely true patriots.
Yeah.
And so for me, I needed a company whose values reflected my own.
Sure.
Because you don't lose those things. And honor, integrity, those are the things that if I was working for a company that didn't have those, I wouldn't be working for the company.
Sure.
So I've been very fortunate.
So just looking through your career with kind of all the stops from the White House to Special Operations Command, going as Special Forces, you look like a guy. No, not Special Forces?
Yeah, different. So Special Forces, Green Berets,
right.
They go through certain types of training and assessment and selections. For me, it was Special Operations.
So it looks like you always went for the harder route.
I believe so. I left a few challenges on the table that I kind of wish I would have done, but other than that, a very fulfilling career, and I believe that God has me exactly where He wants me to be, and my career was the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so 21 years of service,
yes,
which is a lifetime. I served for 5 years, so I have nothing but respect for
I appreciate your 5 years of service.
It's an amazing sacrifice. I don't think people understand how much of a sacrifice it is to be ready to be deployed at any given time. How many times were you deployed?
At least half a dozen or more, and it just depends. I've gone on trips overseas to Iraq, Afghanistan, the Horn of Africa, different places. For small stints, you come back. Sometimes you're gone for 6 months. My longest was actually with the 82nd Airborne. That was a 15-month deployment. So that was. So I have a lot of respect for the, they're called conventional forces, conventional Army, but they're just the Army, Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy. The Army at the time was going overseas for 15 months at a time, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to be in Special Operations. Was hey, we'd go for 6 months at a pop. We'd do what we needed to do. We'd come back out and rotate through. And we've been a nation at war for 2 decades now. And so I know that my battle buddies that are still in uniform are feeling the blunt of that. And there's some truly amazing Americans as well. And I love that I have the ability to still support them, no longer in uniform, but outside of uniform.
When did you realize, was there a moment or when you felt like, okay, I'm coming to the end here. It's time for me to pass the torch?
For me, it was family. I give it all the credit in the world to military members that have kids and they're able to deploy and go away and they have their family care plans. I didn't want my children to remember me being gone, and not for that long, right?
Right.
I go on trips. I'm here now. I live in North Carolina. The kids want me home now. I travel for business. I go down to Benning, I go up to the beach, I'm all over the place.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I come home. So for me, that was the catalyst. That was the moment, was my kids, my family, and not wanting to be away from them.
Rick, loved the conversation. Appreciate all you've done for our country.
Yeah,
amazing,
appreciate it.
amazing. Thank you for your service. I'll never
Thank you
stop
for yours.
thanking people for their service, even if that does sound trite after a while. You know what? It's not always been the case. So appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.